Alrighty then.
Let's go ahead and get started before I just pass out from exhaustion.
Yes, your
Uh,
energy level is low. You should eat a snack to make it go up,
I had
like a video game.
since we have so much barbecue left over from yesterday, I had some barbecue mac and cheese.
Excellent. That
So,
sounds delicious.
and I did mix in some tomatoes for a little bit of health. But no, it's
Yeah, for
just
the health.
when you're relatively introverted and you're dealing
Mhm.
with 50 people
Yeah.
plus 30 kids,
Oh yeah, that's a
it's a
lot.
lot.
It's a lot to do. Oh, definitely.
But yeah, welcome to Real Horror Show, a horror movie review podcast where we review horror movies from Netflix, Hulu, Shudder, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sam Odie.
I'm your co-host, Stormy Skies.
Welcome to our podcast. Today we'll be reviewing In a Violent Nature, a 2024 Canadian slasher film written and directed by Chris Nash, starring Ry Barrett, Andrea Pavlovic, and Lauren Marie Taylor. Described as an ambient slasher, it follows a mute killer who is accidentally resurrected from his grave in Ontario by a group of teenagers whom he then begins stalking and murdering. The events depicted are largely observed from the killer's perspective. And this is how we like to break it down: characters and acting, story and writing, and lastly, production. And then we like to wrap things up by discussing the real horrors this movie addresses. Sometimes they're serious, and sometimes we like to have a little bit of goofy fun. That being said, we are a horror movie podcast, so here is a general trigger warning. We talk about death, blood, guts, and other unsavory topics that might not be suitable for everyone, although we try to do so sensitively. Listener's discretion is advised. Movies are then rated on a scale of what the fuck did I just watch, which means the movie has no redeeming qualities to be found, meh, it's okay, and ah yeah, that fucked me up, which is what all horror should strive to be. So let's get started.
Agreed. Yes.
So I mostly really like this movie.
Okay, that's good to know. I knew that it would be different for me.
You did not like this movie.
I mostly did not like this movie,
Oh,
but that's
okay.
okay. I was wondering when the next time that was going to happen would be.
It's been a while since we've had differing
It
opinions.
has. It really has been actually a while. I can't
Yeah.
remember the last one. But this
I
one, yeah.
No, you go ahead. I feel like we'll agree with why I only mostly like it,
Okay.
which is
Well,
it is very
yeah.
slow.
Oh, okay. Very interesting.
Oh.
Well, I didn't like it because the yeah, I think I didn't like it not because it was so slow. That's probably what was cool about it because of the
Hmm.
slow burn and intensity,
Hmm.
but I didn't like how it was shot.
Oh.
It was beautiful, but I didn't like how they did it.
Hmm.
And I thought I also did, and I'll tell you why. And I also didn't like I know they were trying to make it like kind of ambient, like you said before,
Hmm.
but I thought that it was actually boring because there was no like sound effect or music
Yeah.
at all. So I like checked out. And
Yeah.
because of a lot of the walking and the point of view cam of like behind the individuals, it was hard for me to keep focused.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think those are all very valid reasons not to like this movie. It's going to be a very
Yeah,
I am shocked that it seems like a lot of people do like this movie, and I'm surprised by that because of everything you said.
right. Yeah, that's
It's a
cool.
very this is more of a production note that I wrote, but some people compare it to the movie Elephant and other films that are classified as slow cinema because it is very naturalistic. We don't really have a soundtrack. We are just being dropped in on this moment and following characters around. And in Elephant, which came out in 2003, and I really like this movie, it is about a school on the day of a school shooting.
Oh
Eh,
shit, for real?
yeah, it's heavy.
Oh,
But what I love about the movie is you're literally just dropped into this high school. Like if I walked onto your college campus and just sat around people watching all day,
yeah.
I know nothing about these characters except for what I'm overhearing in their conversation. And that includes the shooters, and it's just very slow, very monotonous until you get to the boiling point where the shooting starts. And
Dang.
reading up on some of the production history of this movie, that was kind of the intent with the director and writer, is he wanted to kind of lull you into a sense of security, and then suddenly the bear attacks the camp and
Right.
it's carnage. And I like that because I did like Elephant a lot. It is a
Mhm.
very kind of art housey form of storytelling in cinema that doesn't work for a lot of people, which is totally valid.
Oh yeah.
Um, where the slowness really bothers me in this movie is the pretzel kill.
Oh
And
yeah.
because if we just sped that up like maybe half a second, it wouldn't
Mhm.
bother me so much. But there is a like 10-second gap between her looking over the edge of that cliff, and it's not a cliff, it's a very steep hill she could have tucked and rolled down. But
Right.
she doesn't do that and just stands there waiting for him to kill her. And that's where kind of the slow pacing bothers me, is it's slow where it shouldn't be slow.
Yeah. Yeah. The sense of urgency, like naturally where it would occur in people, they just took it out just to
Yeah,
maintain that slowness of the
right.
filming.
Right. And
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
it's
hear
in
you.
those moments where you should have removed that element. Otherwise, the pretzel kill is fantastic. No notes. It was very
Yeah.
well done. Like the gore in this movie,
Yeah, I have
um,
no complaints on that.
I feel like it was overhyped, and I maybe that makes sense with the way they shot this movie and the slow
Yeah.
ambience of it.
Uh-huh.
But I would put it on par with like the gory slashers of the 80s, like the
Yeah.
over-the-top slashers of the 80s.
Yeah.
Um, but just from peers in our community talking about, it has the best kill and it's being compared to Terrifier. I chose not to see it in theaters because I don't enjoy Terrifier that much, but
Right. Yeah.
and I am glad I didn't see it in theaters because of the slowness. I feel like all
Yeah.
cozied up in my recliner in a
Yeah, you
dark
might
theater,
like.
I might have fallen asleep.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because it's so quiet too, so you just feel like it could be easy to fall asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Um,
Excellent.
so anyway, getting into characters and acting, the main character and really the only one we care about in this movie is the slasher himself, Johnny, because the
John.
movie is told through his perspective, and I would compare him character-wise to Jason Voorhees
Yeah,
if
for sure. Yeah,
if Jason
100%.
Voorhees was written a little more sensitively than what we
Yeah.
got in the
And had
80s.
like no mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we'll get to Johnny without his mask in a second, because when I saw him without his mask, just
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Like
Yeah.
that makeup was stunning,
I was
and
impressed.
that is what Jason Voorhees should look like if we ever get another Friday the
Yeah.
13th film.
Yeah. I agree.
Just decayed but still human.
Yeah,
Like
it was
I
good.
think Jason is a very good comparison to Johnny, because Jason,
Oh, yeah.
as much as I don't really care for the franchise of Friday the 13th, it goes off the rails. Like the backstory of Jason is so tragic,
It
and
is.
Johnny is also tragic, where they're both kind of simple boys. That's a
Hmm.
nice way of saying
Yeah.
cognitively delayed.
You're right. Yeah.
Um, Boys who are picked on in their community. And I mean, Johnny did kill a lot of people, I believe, but you know,
Yeah.
he was pushed to that point.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
so it is nice to see kind of a Jason variant when we haven't had a new Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street in so fucking long.
Yes, yeah, it is. And the first thing I did think of was like it's reminiscent of Jason.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and we there are the teenagers that he slaughters, but we don't spend a lot of face time with them. We only catch glimpses of them throughout the movie as they die.
Yeah.
Again, because this is from the perspective of the killer,
Hmm.
which conceptually is really cool.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I do think it's funny that, oh yeah, probably from the killer's perspective, this is just a Monday for them. It is boring.
Yeah, it's just yeah, exactly. Just doing work.
Yeah. Um, and The only one of the teenagers we spend a lot of time with is our final girl, Chris, who I really liked, and I hope we see her in another horror movie soon because we don't get a lot of screen time with her, but what I saw, I really liked.
Yeah, me too.
She has a cool vibe.
She does. Yeah.
Very good final girl vibe.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Especially at the end when she
Oh
was
yeah.
being the final girl. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, I really want to talk about the end because
All right, cool.
I think it was very I liked the end of this movie.
Me too. It was, yeah. It's good.
Um, so yeah, sliding into writing, which we already talked about, the gimmick is this is told from the perspective of the killer. So it's a very slow burn. This
Yeah.
is considered an ambient horror film, which I think is an interesting take in the genre,
Yeah.
even if, like Stormy said, it is very slow. It is very dry until the axe hits a face.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And even some of the kills, in my opinion, were too slow. When Johnny is putting the park ranger on the lumber cutter,
Dude, I was
th-
about to bring that up. I was like, even that was like slow. I was like bored.
that was the moment I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking slow.
I know. I was like, hand, and then I was like, okay, I guess head next to
It,
hurry it up a little
yeah,
bit.
it really was watching like someone do their
Like
job. Like,
paint dry.
like if we were watching this from the perspective of the teens would have just stumbled onto the aftermath of that scene, but we get to watch it in the grueling, agonizing
I know.
detail.
For real.
Which is fine. I appreciate the work these slashers put into their craft.
Yes, yes, I do too.
Um, yeah, so it's the viewpoint of the killer, so we kind of see like what it actually looks like with from the between of, running away from Michael Myers and how he appears around the corner 30 seconds later. We see
Mhm.
Michael's perspective is
Yeah.
essentially. Uh,
Johnny, because Johnny is
yeah.
such like a, I don't know, that name is like fine,
Hmm.
but it's
Well, when you think about it, Johnny also feels like kind of
Johnny.
a throwback to classic slashers where we have Michael
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Jason and
that's
Fred.
right. Johnny.
Um,
Yeah. Like Freddie. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
so that kind of
yeah.
makes sense.
Um,
Johnny.
well,
Yeah.
Johnny comes back from the dead after a couple of teens slash young adults find a locket in the ruins of a burned down building and take it. And Johnny makes it his mission to track down his locket and kills everyone who crosses his path.
Yeah.
So plot wise, this movie is just a lot of walking and following Johnny, um, which is what it would be like from the killer's point of view.
If you just, yeah, if you just followed him, like this is, yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it would look like.
yeah, like we see even like the always Myers breaks out of the mental asylum and goes to a gas station and kills the guy for his jumpsuit. We kind of get that scene too, where
Hmm.
he goes into the house, kills the dad, which we don't even see that kill on screen, which is why I don't get
No.
why this movie got so much hype for the gore. Um,
Yeah.
I did like the shot though. I thought it was a very cool shot where we see his hand reach for the dad's face and then
Yeah.
jump cut and it's a
It's
bloody hand
bloody.
reaching for the necklace.
Uh-huh. But it's the wrong necklace. So he's
It
just
is.
like, fuck.
He was, whoops, my bad.
He can't tell because he's dead.
Yeah. He just saw a necklace and thought it was his,
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
it wasn't. So he's got to go to the next necklace now.
Yeah, he's got to go to the next necklace. And, well, he hears a group of teens drive past and he decides to stalk them because I think he can sense the necklace.
Oh, yeah, you're probably
Maybe.
right.
I think he
Hmm. I bet you're right.
senses it. There's some sort of psychic bond there.
Definitely.
And
Connection.
it was Chris's boyfriend who stole the locket and gave it to her. And
Yeah.
we do get some time with the teens from Johnny's perspective where he's listening to them tell ghost stories about him around the campfire.
Yeah.
So, very basic opening horror movie scene. Love it.
Dude, I had a problem with this scene, and I'll tell you why. It was cool to hear the story. I'm glad like we got some background a little bit because people complained that there was no plot, but I was like, well, they just told the story about what
Yeah.
happened. So like pay attention there.
Yeah.
But that scene was so insanely reminiscent, if not one-to-one copy of Quentin Tarantino around the table scenes from all like
Ooh,
most of his films that
yeah,
I was actually put off because it was like a copy. Oh, I was like, why are you trying to copy Quentin Tarantino right now? Like I know you're doing that. So I got
yeah,
pissed. And not because of the it was because of the mundane conversation. It was because there was at least like five or six people and they each spoke like briefly, and it was how slow the camera was panning,
yeah.
focusing on each one from behind, from the point of view of the killer, maybe, which is what happens in Death Proof. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I love Death Proof.
So you know what I'm talking about when the girls are
Yeah.
at the diner and just like bullshitting about stuff, but it takes a long time for them to get to the important point. But the
Hmm.
guy, Kurt Russell, is at the like diner bar watching them.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit. And but then like I think Quentin does it in like other movies too, but I was like, hey, this person either loves Quentin and copied or like it's a fluke. But I think they love Quentin. Um, but still it isn't, but I want to say in the same breath, that's like the entire story. That's like the whole backstory about like Johnny. So whoever says that there is no plot is also wrong.
Yeah.
There is one.
Yeah, there is. It's just why would
Yeah.
Johnny be telling the camera his life story? He can't talk. And also he knows his life story.
Yeah, he already knows his own life. So
Yeah, he knows what happened.
I know he was there.
Yeah. Um, so we get the kills, of course. A very slow kill where he walks into a lake and drowns a girl who's swimming.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then of course the kill everybody's talking about, the pretzel kill where he reaches his hand through a girl's stomach, hooks a dragging hook through her skull, and then drags her entire body through her body.
Yeah,
And
like in a hole in her stomach, like
yeah,
backwards. So it's like,
yeah.
whoop.
Which that looked really great. That was a great
It did
effect.
look good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
But you
Yeah.
can't really build a perfect slasher on one kill when all the other kills are either off camera or super slow.
Or super slow or just like basic.
Yeah, yeah. It was
There,
it was pretty basic except for that one.
you know what? Yeah. And then there was the kill when he like killed that guy and then he like kept hitting his head
Yeah.
like a million times.
Yeah, I liked that one. That was a bit overkill and I liked it.
Yeah, I think that that helped a little bit because I was like, oh, okay, like he's still going. That's like pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Like the speed that that kill happened is the speed I wanted the
Right.
pretzel to happen.
Like that was like compared to the other kills, that was like extreme fast killing.
Like that was so fast. I was shocked. Like the kills have been so slow up to that point.
I know.
I said, "Oh shit,
Um,
the guy's dead."
he killed that other guy who went to the like poop in the woods or something.
Yeah.
I forget how though. I think I like looked away or maybe I left the room. I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, he died.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
scene was a blur to me.
Yeah, it was all
But
dark.
yeah. But let's go ahead and just get to the ending because
Yeah.
the ending had me very stressed,
Me too.
which is great because that's
Yeah.
how you should feel during that last escape moment
Yeah, I
of a
was
horror
super
movie.
stressed. I felt anxious because I was like, oh
I,
fuck.
like I was so like, "Oh my God, I feel so anxious. This hasn't happened
Yeah,
in so long."
right. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it was very stressful. The whole time the woman got out of the truck to um, tourniquet Chris's leg because
Yeah.
we're now following Chris's perspective after her last friend is brutally murdered, like just
Oh
overkill
yeah. Is
murdered.
that her is that her boyfriend or just like a friend? I don't
I
know. I
think
don't
he was just a
remember.
friend.
All the boys looked the same to me.
Yeah, based on the loose story tidbits I could get from the teenagers, because again, we're not following them. She had a boyfriend, but the last guy standing, was a childhood friend who probably
Okay.
had romantic feelings for her, and vice versa.
Oh, her like the guy that should have been her
Yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah,
Okay, I
that
got
guy in the
you.
movie.
Yeah.
So they had a plan. They were gonna set him on fire, and he just gets axed in the face immediately. He was way
Yeah,
too
so
close
much
when
for
he tried to
plans.
get Johnny's attention. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
he
don't
was too
you don't
close.
stand in arm's length of a guy with an axe.
Johnny is enormous. Like you
Yes.
should back up.
Yes. But I guess they were going to set him on fire or something. So she had a
Get
jug of
gasoline.
gasoline and she just
Yeah,
watches in horror. And this acting is so good.
it is.
She's really good. I hope we see her in something else.
I do
Uh,
too.
and she just takes off the locket because I think it was the park ranger who told her, "Oh yeah, that's his locket. We need to get it back so he'll fucking die
Mhm.
again." And so she leaves it on the can of gasoline. She runs away, and we're
Oh,
following her perspective now.
yeah.
And she trips, hurts her leg, um,
Dude,
passes
I
out
thought
in
he
the
was
woods.
chasing. I thought he was chasing her.
I did too.
Like I was like, fuck, for real?
Like I kept waiting, and
Yeah.
a truck pulls up as they always do at the end, but it
Yep.
doesn't end there. We see the full moments of escape that we don't really see in other horror movies, which
Yeah.
is one of the things I appreciate about this movie is they chose to show the scenes we don't see
Yeah. Yes.
in
Like
other
driving
slashers.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, and just what those moments are like for the final girl.
Hmm. Yeah.
And finally, she's just bleeding out, and the woman who's helping her says, "Oh, well, we can't keep driving. I need to tourniquet that, and then we'll get you to the hospital." And Chris is like, "No, he's coming. You can't do it." And she's like, "No, we'll be fine." And I
Yeah.
kept waiting for the X to come down in that woman's head.
Me too. Yeah, I thought, well, whenever that he set up shots at the end, I'll say very well because
Hmm.
this shot whenever the woman goes around and opens the car door and kneels in front of her, and then behind the car door is the woods. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna like come at
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
right?
No, no, I loved this final sequence with
And then
Chris.
she kept staring into the woods and we kept getting those scenes of just all that green, and I was like trying to
Yeah.
like see like a silhouette, you
Yeah.
know. I was like, is he like there?
Yeah. But the last shot of the movie is that he got his locket back and that was all he wanted.
That was
So
all he wanted.
he wasn't chasing her, but I think
But
these
she'll
moments,
always think he's
yeah,
chasing her
yes,
though.
that's my note is this captures that moment
Yes.
that we have talked about that for the final girl, the
Yes.
horror movie isn't over. She's going to be looking into the woods the rest of her life, wondering if he's
Yeah.
coming for her and
Yeah.
like just
Never knowing.
I've
Yeah.
seen people saying they don't like this final sequence, but this final sequence is so
It
good to
it
me.
made the movie, I think.
Yeah.
If it didn't have
Yeah.
this ending like this, then I would have been like more mad.
Yeah. No, this ending was brilliant.
It really was. I don't think I've seen a movie that was able to allow us to put it into words like we did right now, which was like she thinks he's still
Yeah.
walking slowly to get her.
Yeah. And he might be because production note, there is a sequel in the works.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, this movie did well enough to earn a sequel. I don't know how they're going to make a sequel
Yeah.
because I love the ending of this movie so much. You can say as much as you want to about, all the rest of it, but this ending is so well done.
Yeah.
Because one, it made me so stressed. And I've seen so many horror movies in my life that I don't really get stressed out in the final sequence anymore.
Yeah, same here. I'm just like, all right, cool.
They're probably going to get away, or it's going to be a fun little twist where there are no survivors, like Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre, the beginning.
Yeah.
But no,
That's
I
a
was
really
I
good.
was so stressed.
Yeah, that was a very stressful ending, which was cool because throughout the movie I was kind of feeling like n not a whole lot. So I
Hmm.
was like, oh shit, like I'm like I was becoming more and more like invested
Yeah.
after it was just her, and I was like, yeah, at that point you're like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna kill everybody?
Yeah.
Or is she gonna get away? And then also, I tell me if you felt this too, but I had like a quick glimmer of this thought where whenever she got in the car with that woman and that woman was like jabbering on about stuff, I
Hmm.
was like, shit, is like this woman like related to Johnny and
Oh
she's
yeah.
gonna kill her or something? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I thought
definitely.
that
I
maybe
thought that
she was
too.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because she was telling that unsettling story about
Yeah.
the
Her
park ranger
brother.
and the bear
Yeah, the bear. And I was
and
like,
how
the
her
bear was
brother
there with
survived this
Johnny.
bear attack and the bear just never attacked again. Like they were never able to find it because there was just never another bear attack in those
Mm-hmm.
woods.
Yeah, so I was like, is like her brother like Johnny's dad? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or something? Is there gonna be a weird connection? She's gonna be like, I know that you saw Johnny, my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like I'm driving you to him. Uh, but that didn't happen, so that's cool too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the stories.
That's the story of that. But yeah, pretty brilliant ending, very
Yeah.
slow beginning.
Very, very slow most of it, but it
Yeah.
was for me it was a vibe. I get why people wouldn't like it, but
Yeah.
I am a fan of art housey cinema.
Right, yeah, I'm glad I saw it. I'm looking at the In a Violent Nature 2 like poster, which is cool because it's like the
Ooh,
hook.
has that come out?
Yeah, there's like a little poster. Uh,
Because I know they announced it at Comic-Con in January.
yeah. So here, let me put it in the chat. It's on Reddit, of course. But the poster is cool. It's like the hook, but it looks like
Yeah.
a two.
Ooh. Oh, that poster is very reminiscent of Saw, the early
It
Saw
is.
posters.
It is. Yeah. That's cool. Okay. But
Interesting.
yeah, it is very cool. So, but that's on the way.
The top comment on this thread, most anti-yoga movie I've
And
ever
I
seen.
know, I think that's such a funny comment. Most anti-yoga movie. Rest in peace. If you love yoga, don't watch this. This is the All right, cool.
Um,
Well,
my only production notes are things I've already talked about that I really liked the look of Johnny's maskless face.
yeah, yeah.
Because I'm just in my mind mentally, I'm comparing that look to one of the last times we saw Jason without a mask
Hmm.
in Jason Goes to New York, and it's just like a weird fucking skull thing.
Yeah.
And I just, as slow as this movie was, I want to take the elements I like from this movie and put them in a future Friday of the 13th remake where it's kind of
Yeah.
more chill.
Yeah.
I keep telling David the horror game I want to play doesn't exist yet.
Yeah. What is the your ultimate horror game?
I want something that starts out. We live in the Appalachian region in different areas of the Appalachian region. I
Yeah.
want something like you're going to a chill writer's retreat in the fall when the mountains are all these beautiful colors and it's just very cozy, very vibrant, very
Hmm.
welcoming. And then by the time night falls, all shit breaks loose and there's a fucking cult or some shit.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Just a combination of like a nice cozy game with an
Yeah.
actual survival horror game.
Yeah, that's really neat. Yeah, and I have such trouble trying to find like a good horror game that I really like
Yeah.
stick to.
Yeah, I almost got
Yeah.
that with The Quarry. I recently played The Quarry.
Yeah, that's close. I was
It
gonna
was it was
suggest
very
that.
close, but it was werewolves, and I'm not super
I
into
know,
werewolves.
I know. Ugh, don't get me started on
Sorry,
that.
spoilers for The
Yeah, oh
Quarry.
yeah, spoilers, guys.
I need to play Until
Uh,
Dawn, but because the
oh
remake just came
shit.
out, it's still
Oh,
full price on Steam,
damn.
and it's
Until Dawn is
$60.
it's so fucking
I know.
good.
I think Until Dawn will have the
Fuck the
kind of twist I
quarry.
want more.
Yeah, oh my God. It has like several.
I also just have an
Um
issue with The Quarry because I tried really hard to get Dylan and
Golf
Justice Smith
Girl.
together.
Oh, the gays.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't end up together no matter what decisions you make. And
Really?
really,
That's because the one kid is like too annoying and everyone's like sick of his shit. Do you cut his arm off or his hand off?
I've only done one playthrough, but yes, I did.
You did
Yeah,
to save him.
yes.
Nice. Yeah, that's well, it's still a good game. I just think that when you play Until Dawn, you'll see that in the quarry, their mocaps look so bad
Oh no,
on their face.
I even thought without playing Until
Yeah.
Dawn that the mocaps kind of creeped me out a little.
Yeah, the quarry for some reason they look a little weird,
Hmm.
but Until Dawn,
Like the eyes
yeah,
were
play
just
the
very
remake.
wet for me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Like I
Until
thought Justice
Dawn.
Smith looked fine. I thought Brenda Song looked fine.
Hmm. It's the
Um,
one girl who's like the popular girl. I think she looks the most weird. Let
yeah, yeah.
me see the quarry. Ugh, I
Is
would
that
love to
Caitlin?
talk about games with you.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, there's actually a movie called The Quarry. My bad. I mean, the game.
Um,
Characters. The one who has like the green turtleneck.
yeah, it's Caitlin or something.
Awkward ass outfit. Yeah.
I am proud
Yeah,
of my
Caitlin.
first and so far only playthrough of the quarry is I got out with only two deaths.
Oh, excellent. That's pretty good. Because sometimes to people it can be really hard to keep alive.
Yeah.
But when Until Dawn came out way back in the day when we were in grad school,
Hmm.
I played it and it became quickly like my favorite game
Yeah.
next to Borderlands. And dude, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
It's like, and I was so excited to play the core because I was like, oh yeah, it's like the same people, but like, dude, it's like the core is like one layer of what Until Dawn is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And no fucking werewolves in Until Dawn. Okay, I'll tell you that. That's no spoiler.
Yeah,
But
Until Dawn is still $60. I was hoping it'd be on sale with like a
oh,
fall
that
sale
it's because yeah, it's just came
because
out
of the remake.
too. I know the remake.
I mean, 60 isn't as bad. I really want to play the new Silent Hill game, but that is
Me
$70.
too. I know, right? I can't play shit because
I
it's too
can't I
expensive.
can't justify that right now.
I
It's
know.
Christmas.
Dude, I want you I wanted to play I wanted to try Alan Wake 2.
Oh, we want to
Because
do that too.
but so I listened to this. Luke had downloaded Alan Wake 1 and Control when they were free games because we have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And little did I know that Alan Wake 1 is like a universally hated video game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, dude, I was playing it. I played like an hour of gameplay and then I was like, it was really hard
Mm-hmm.
for no reason. And then the story was too slow, but kind of exciting. And then I kept dying on easy. And I was like, what the fuck
Oh
is
yeah.
happening?
Dave,
And then I
David really likes Alan Wake, but we haven't gotten Alan Wake 2 yet.
Alan Wake, I don't want to play it. I just want to. People say if you don't want to play it and you want to get to two because two is like way different, and there's a whole entirely new dude that plays Alan Wake
Mm-hmm.
because his character narrator guy is like totally boring. Um, they said just watch like a video gameplay, maybe play Control because
Mm-hmm.
it's like same universe, and then play Alan Wake 2. But I was like, I want to play Alan Wake 2 now, but it's like $60, so I can't do that, can I? God damn it. Gotta wait until it's like on sale, but it's winter, and if it's not on sale, then we're gonna have to wait until I don't even know when. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing about Until Dawn is that I got the platinum in the 20 in the PlayStation 4 version. And so now that there's the PlayStation 5 version, they like have a little some differences, but it looks so much better. Um anyway, enough about that. Uh
Yeah.
so
Uh,
realistic aspects of
Taking stuff that doesn't belong to you.
yeah, don't just like take stuff from the woods. Obviously, like don't you feel funny about that? You know
Like,
what I mean?
listen, I have an affinity for creepy things. We're gothy girls. We're drawn to creepy dolls.
Mhm.
They call to me. If I found a creepy doll in the middle of the woods, I'm not going to take the creepy doll away from the middle of the woods.
Especially if it's like was inside like a burned down
Yeah.
shack.
Yeah. I'm going to take a picture of it and that's sufficient.
That is sufficient. And these people, and don't say like, oh, well, they couldn't take pics. Like they had their phones, so
Mm-hmm.
they could, but they
Mm-hmm.
just were like, the dude was or like, he said, I think it's here for a reason. And I was like, bro. So he just like took it because he thought he was supposed to. Like, what a jerk.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's dead now because of
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So just
R.I.P.
avoid doing that. Uh, this is a funny thing, but like, try not to like I don't know, like fight like the cops in town, like fight them,
Yeah.
like like instigate with them, like call them bad names when they're on your property.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what the?
Yeah, catching strays, like
That's
if that one
funny.
dude had been a few feet farther back, he wouldn't have gotten an axe to the face.
Dude, right. Yes.
But he
Okay.
was
Yeah.
like he was right up against Johnny. What did he think would happen?
Yeah, like don't get close to like an enemy.
Yeah, don't get close to an enemy.
Yeah. Like an enemy and they have like they have like a weapon too
Mm-hmm.
because their weapon is probably superior and if they're like a huge man, like watch out for them and just back up.
Yeah.
Don't like all these people that died like straight up like separated from their group
Mm-hmm.
and died. So like, I don't know, maybe not do that.
Yeah, safety in numbers.
But they didn't even try to call each other. I feel like they didn't even give a shit, just like try to like really keep an eye on each other in groups when you're out in the woods.
Yeah.
Um, if you're if you're like scared, you should try to activate your fight or flight reflex
Yes. Like
wherever you're at.
if your options are rolling down a really steep hill into a body of water
Right.
or having your body become a pretzel.
Or death,
Yeah.
then and if you're a yoga girl, you should be active enough to be able to handle that,
Yeah,
I
I
would
would have
hope.
I would have tucked and rolled and hoped for the best.
Yeah, and like maybe you'll like get fucked up a little bit, but you'll like be fine later. Like chill.
Yeah.
Ugh, anyway,
Anyway.
well that
And
and
then I guess most realistic one is the
yeah.
trauma, the lifelong trauma after a traumatic event.
Right. Like I kind of missed a little bit of the actual story that the sheriff guy or like the deputy was telling
Mhm.
about Johnny and his family, but like it sounded like they wanted to like they like killed Johnny on purpose,
Yeah.
like the young child. So I was like, well, don't do
Don't do
that.
that.
Don't like kill someone's kid or their family and like cause like a small town drama because then you like develop like a curse will occur because it's such a small town and then people who are visiting will die. So it's like gonna, this whole thing,
Yeah.
a whole thing. Um, oh, another thing is like that dude got yelled at for putting like bear traps and shit all over the woods,
Hmm.
and then he got caught in one. So like, just don't put bear traps out and about where people just are.
Yeah.
Like they were like literally so close to each other. I was like, whoa. But okay. And then that's it. Everything else is those are all the major aspects
Yeah.
of it.
Um, so I'm gonna give this an oh yeah, fuck me up, if anything, for the ending,
Oh
because
yeah.
most of the movie is very slow. The kills and the gore effects on the kills are amazing, but like Stormy said, it is very slow.
Yeah, I
Um,
did want to say the gore is really good though whenever you do
yeah,
see it. And it's
yeah,
mostly this movie is all practical effects, isn't it?
I
It's
think so.
really excellent and very, very well done.
Hmm.
I do want to take note, although that it was boring to watch like him kill that guy on like
Yeah.
the lumber saw thing. But when I was like watching very closely when it was time for his head to be decapitated, and it was a flawless transition from like I
Oh
think
yeah.
that dude's body to like
Yeah.
falling on the floor. I was like, was that the actor? And I couldn't even tell. So that was done so, so well.
Yeah.
I was very pleased. I was like, damn, I didn't even notice a thing.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So well done with that. At least that was really made up for with that. Although they could have doubled down a little bit, just like you said.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the aspects I like about the film are enough for me to say, oh, yeah, that fucked me up. But
Yeah.
no, I completely agree with you with how slow it is, and there's no soundtrack. So it's going to be, I do think this is another, you either love it or you hate it type
Right,
movie.
yeah. I'm gonna say meh, it's okay.
Hmm.
But we knew that was coming. But
Yeah,
that's cool
yeah,
because it's been a while since me and Sam had differing opinions, but it's
yeah.
still cool because it makes a good conversation.
It does.
Yeah,
And
it does.
I mean, we agree on like most aspects. Like the ending is phenomenal, and the
It
gore
is
was so well done.
though. Yeah, I know, right? So hopefully in the sequel we can see some new things and they maintain those like old like value the old bones they've got in the old movies. That's cool.
Yeah. And I know it's not the mini show where we decide our next movie, but
What will it be?
well, Christmas
Uh,
is upon us.
will it be Terrifier 3?
It's gonna have to be Terrifier 3.
Yep. You're damn
I
well, might as
will
well rip that band-aid off.
I will acquire it because right now it's $20 on Prime Video, but I think it is still in theaters. I think they're having a Christmas re-release.
Oh, really?
If you're
Okay.
in the mood for seeing it in the theater, that is an option. Otherwise, I will procure it
Procure it. Yes.
and put it in the drive.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. I can Venmo you. I can Venmo you $10.
Oh yeah, I guess if I just we'll coordinate so that way the
Yeah, and we
48
can split it.
yeah, so the 48-hour rental fee or if is
Yes,
it purchase
yeah.
or rental?
We can
It's
rent or buy. Let me see. Amazon Prime
um
Video.
so it's
Rent?
$25 if we want to buy it. Rent is
Oh,
$20.
we're just gonna rent it, girl, because we're not keeping this.
Okay, we'll have 3 days to finish once we start it, so we'll
Yeah.
let's coordinate.
Let's coordinate. And then there's another thing I did want to bring up regarding like new movies. So all I've been able to hear about lately is this movie called The Substance.
I love The Substance.
Did you see
I
it?
saw it in theaters.
Oh, shit.
I love it
Okay.
so much.
Okay, cool, cool. So, yes, so that should definitely be on our radar too, because I haven't seen it, but like I didn't know it was gonna be so huge. I thought it was like a like an under the radar thing, but
I
Demi
didn't
Moore
either.
was in it.
I think it started as under the
Yeah,
radar, but then it just
yeah,
kind of blew up when we saw the performances and
yeah.
again the gore, phenomenal. There's a gnarly scene of Dennis Quaid eating shrimp. That's probably the most violent thing in the
I
movie.
love Dennis Quaid. Yes, I
Oh,
do
he is
though.
so awful in
Mhm.
this movie, but in a wonderful way.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. I love it. Okay, cool. So, well,
We'll still do our
Terrifier
mini show next
3.
week, and then we'll
Yep.
plan Terrifier 3, because
Yepers.
looking at the calendar next week,
Oh, yep, let's do that.
it will
So,
that'll be
yeah, that'll be our
that
mini show.
following Wednesday will be the 25th, I think.
Oh
Mini show will
shit.
be 18th.
Mini show will be 18. Okay, so do you want to we'll talk about this later, but yeah, so the next thing we'll watch is the next episode of
Hill
Hill
House.
House, which is how many until we're done?
We are on episode
Yes.
7.
Episode 7. Oh shit.
We are nearing the end of that one.
Oh shit, yeah, there's only a couple more, so we will be done a little after the new year. Okay,
And then it'll be
perfect.
on to Bly Manor.
Dude, Bly Manor's good, but
I
you
love
that's
Bly.
what you've seen,
That's
so
what I've seen. I love Bly Manor.
you'll see how they are gonna be similar. So it's really
Yeah.
cool. And it's a cool thing because he does use like it's like American Horror Story where all the same actors come back.
Hmm.
Really cool stuff. Okay, awesome. So that Terrifier round out Christmas. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Well, hope you enjoyed. Well, we'll talk to you next
Yeah.
time. Oh
Wait,
shit,
no,
I
you got
guess
to
I
read the end notes.
kind of fucking just do the outro right now. Oh my God, I forgot about the outro, guys. Sorry. How will you know what's happening? Okay. Thanks for tuning into our episode. We are the Real Horror Show podcast. Our host is Sam Odie, and I'm the co-host, Stormy Skies. The podcast was created by Sam Odie and Stormy Skies and is directed, edited, and produced by Sam Odie. You can find Sam on Instagram at Sam is Writing Stuff, and you can find Stormy on Instagram at The Stormy Skies. You can find the Real Horror Show podcast on Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play Store, Pandora, and anywhere you like to stream your podcasts. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you're always in the know when a new episode comes out. Follow us on social media. You can find the Real Horror Show podcast on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Sam is like going viral on Threads right now with like her
Jesus.
like quirky comments and shit, getting hundreds of likes.
I
So
wasn't expecting that. I need to be more
keep it up.
active on Threads.
Dude, you're like hilarious naturally, so keep it up, please. And then we just become Threads famous. Awesome. But anyway, we do more than just podcasts. We love to write and have plenty of great movie reviews and essays, all of which can be found on our website, realhorrorshow.com. We love hearing from our listeners. You can ask us a question or send us a movie request to review by DMing us on social media, or you can even send us an email at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Call for guests. Do you love horror movies? Are you a podcaster, a content creator, a movie lover, or anyone in between who is a listener to our show? We would love to have you as a guest on one of our episodes. Reach out to us via social media DM or email us at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Our podcast episodes featuring guests are all listed on our website, realhorrorshow.com. We are so thankful for all of our listeners. You are the life force of our podcast, and we wouldn't really exist without you. Thank you all for making this podcast real and supporting us as we record every week. You can support us in different ways, such as liking and sharing our podcast episodes on social media. Giving us a review will help the podcast more than you know and will help other listeners find it too. You can also donate to Real Horror Show by visiting our support page on our website, where you can make a one-time donation via PayPal, buy us a coffee with the Buy Us a Coffee button, or explore our very interesting Amazon wish list. And any other pertinent news?
Not right now, I don't think.
No, apart from it's like cold, it's December, and the holidays are right around the corner, guys, so get ready.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Our outro song is called Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton, and he can be found at jonathancolton.com. Thank you, fuck off, and have a swell evening. This is Real Horror Show signing off.
Bye.